I only got like 100. She has fucking like 5,000 followers.
Jesus.
I know.
You ready? Okay.
All right. So where do we begin?
Okay, so welcome in everybody. Welcome in. We have a guest that we're gonna be interviewing for the mensaje. Can everyone mute their mics for right now, please? Hollywood, is everybody mute? Chicano, if you could turn off your
Hey, guess
music.
what? I'm gonna make it just 4 boxes, no?
Yeah, we can
But we
we
can
can do
guys
that.
keep it like this. Yeah,
Well,
that's cool.
nobody. Yeah, I just told them to mute. They don't really
Okay.
need to drop it.
Okay.
It's not that necessary. Um,
Okay.
but go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna start like. Okay. Nah, that's too much. That's doing too much.
Yeah, no, it's good. um, we're gonna ask Phenom
Phenomenon. Nah, nah,
Phenom
nah.
Phenom. We're gonna ask you to please introduce yourself to the panel, if you would please.
All right. Well, my real name is Marcus Oliveira. Oliveira. And on a reservation back home, it's Marcus Pomasca. And what my name is Washagije Pomasca. Well, and
Marcus Mosca.
the reason why I have this phenomenon that because that's our tribe is Menominee, and I kind of cut it in half from Menam because the surrounding tribes up there like Winnebago, Oneida, Mohican, they always call us Menams. So I call it Menam Phenom, like phenomenal.
That's
So
that's dope.
Pretty interesting.
Well,
Pretty dope.
thank you for coming in and allowing us here from the mensaje. Myself, Indigenous Chicana, Marky, and Chicano Strange. Thank you for allowing us to interview you. For the mensaje, Chicano is gonna go ahead and start the questioning off, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, I got a two-part question for you. Um, Part one is the belt that you have fully gold, and number two is please tell us how you got started into boxing.
no, the belt's not fully gold. That'd be cool though.
We didn't even know. We didn't even.
It's an inside joke, but go ahead.
Oh.
Please tell us how you got started in boxing, brother. Please.
Well, when I was younger, and I think this has to go with a lot of other other fighters too, like are mixed, because that was one of the main reasons is because I was mixed, and you know how you get in a lot of fights, and I think that has to do with like Canelo, that he went through the same thing, Canelo Alvarez. So just a lot of different people, a lot of fighters, they kind of experience the same thing, getting this isn't too many fights when they're younger. And my grandpa is the one who got me into the boxing because of
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Can you hear me?
who you talking to?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't mean to interject right there. I thought you were done. But I'm just gonna. I forgot my questions, but go ahead, Chicana.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Were you finished answering the question?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, oh well, let me go back to the question. But yeah, my grandpa's the one who got me into it. Um, but I lived with basically I kind of lived with my grandpa and my grandma because my mom was still in the army, and that's how she met my dad, who's from Puerto Rico. And she just basically brought me back to res, and just kind of because she was still in the army, and kind of like just dropped me off, and I just lived with my grandparents for I think until like 7 or something like that.
Mm.
Do you feel that the reservation was um uh, a good influence on you, or
I don't know. It just felt like home. I mean, like when you grow up, even when you grow up bad and stuff, it doesn't feel bad because it just feels kind of normal, you know.
facts?
Um,
Facts.
Was boxing one of the few things to do? Like
Boxing,
on
yeah,
purpose?
yeah. For our like different reservations, they play like basketball and like res ball a lot, but in ours it was just boxing. So there's a lot of kids that box. So there's basically a lot of people that know how to fight. So if you got in a fight, it was like a really tough fight. So almost everybody was a boxer, and we have quite a few fighters that come from our reservation, like make it to the pro scene.
Who were your heroes coming up in boxing? Like who did you look up to? Who were boxers that you studied and yeah, who were those people?
Um, well, like I know that we didn't get a lot like when I was younger, we didn't get a lot of like TV stations. Like I just remember only having like I don't know like 5 or 4 or something like that. And so there wasn't we didn't I didn't get to watch boxing a whole lot unless Mike Tyson was fighting, you know, and somebody would get the pay per view. But I remember looking at the Ring magazine a lot, and always seeing like Evander Holyfield and like Mike Tyson, and of course Don King. I think that's maybe why I signed with him because that's the only person I kind of seen a lot in the Ringside magazine. But that
So when you started actually boxing and you were able to watch boxing, who did you gravitate towards more as far as like boxing style or even like the way they carried themselves outside the ring?
um there wasn't a whole lot of fighters like I was saying, you guys probably don't know, but I almost have 400 amateur fights. It's like 380, and during that whole time there wasn't any specific fighter I'd watch or anything. You know, I didn't think I was I didn't like it. I mean, I don't know what my mentality was, but I didn't think I was that good. I actually didn't think I was that good because there's other fighters in the world where they had like five, you know, like Cubans and stuff. They would have like 600, 500 amateur fights and only like 5 losses, and I had 20, 29 or 28. So, but still, other people would be like, "That's a good 388 amateur fights and only 28 losses," and I'd be like, "Well, that is not that good." I mean, because I know like some of the Russians and Cubans and other Puerto Ricans that they only had like 4 or 5.
No, I think your record is extremely good. I mean, Don King, I don't think would have signed you if your record wasn't good for sure. Chicano, you have a question?
My question is, what are the biggest obstacles, and how did you get over them to become a good noticeable boxer? Like, what are
Um,
the biggest obstacles?
Obstacles. As far as the obstacles, I think giving up your time and to train.
Oh,
'Cause
like not wanting to go out and
yeah,
kick
because
it with the homies. Oh,
it's
okay.
hard. It's hard to like try to discipline yourself to get up and at 4 in the morning and run 5 miles and it's cold outside. Or
Yeah.
sometimes I'll be out at parties and drinking and I'll be out drunk. I'll be like, fuck, I can't do this, and I'll still
Did it
train.
ever get easy? Like, there was never a time when it got easy.
Um,
It got
so
harder and harder because you got more. The better you get, the more people want to fight you, and then you start getting yeah. The more people want to fight you, the better you get.
Oh, okay.
You got to train harder and harder every time. Like if I fought this guy on day one, and I got another fight coming up, you know, you train harder, and you kind of get. That's one of the reasons why I kind of quit is because I got sick of the sounds of the chains and stuff on the bags,
Hmm.
and the smell of leather and just sweating. And I've been smelling and hearing that same sound for since I was 7, and all these fights I've been in, and you get to a point where you just get exhausted. So,
Don't you think there's going to be a point in your life when you're retired and you're older and you have your grandkids where you walk into a gym and you hear that sound and you smell that leather and it makes you happy? Like don't you think that that will happen?
and I think it already did happen because
Oh, yeah.
I kind of like I quit boxing my last couple of fights, and I basically just did it for money. This is like I really didn't care about boxing anymore, and then this is when I met my wife, and she was doing all this stuff with kids and like going to different reservations and like doing workouts and stuff. And I'm not really too good with like kids and stuff, trying to like direct them on how to do things or um I sound like I'm too stern or something, so I just kind of never did that. But then she got me involved in it, and I was becoming easier and easier along with her, though. But no, I don't miss it because the training is hard, and I don't think some fighters understand that. Like, are actually training. They tell me oh, I'm training for 3 hours a day and right after work and stuff, and I don't know how to tell them sometimes. I'm like, man, you got to train more than that. Like when I had a job, I was training after work with few hours, whatever. Then I'll train again, like almost towards midnight. And sometimes I'll start thinking about getting beat, and I'll get up like 2 in the morning and work out, and again, like literally at 5 or something, because you start getting these nerves where thinking, somebody's gonna beat you, and
Would you
you don't
would
want that
you
to happen.
would you mix like certain prayers for or um like a ceremony or like a
Yeah.
prayer
Did you ever incorporate
that
your traditions into your boxing?
I did. Whenever I did pray for stuff, I always prayed just like um my nerves basically, just not to be scared.
Mm.
um
Because it out of all of the amateur fights, I think there's a lot of them I was nervous and scared. I don't think there's one fight where even if it's somebody I knew I was gonna beat, you still get nervous. You still get scared. So when people say when people say I'm not nervous or not scared, like I don't know. Like I think just being human, you get these nerves and you just gotta. You know what I mean? Like if you fight a lot, it's gonna be a battle, but you just do it.
That's making a lot of noise. Marky, did you have a question?
Um, yeah. Did you feel any pressure to succeed because you were seen as a representative of your community?
Yeah, fucking huge ass, huge. After I start getting like better and better, that's when your community starts noticing you and getting behind you. And then that's another reason that why I got up and trained, because I had like my whole community behind me. They're like looking up to me, and then I was like, man, I can't get beat. I can't like fail in front of everybody or get like knocked out on TV or something. That'd be embarrassing. And then there's not that many native boxers, and I didn't want to put a bad name for natives, natives too. Like be on TV and be, oh, he's a native, and they get laid out. I didn't want that to happen. Oh yeah, seriously, that was a lot of pressure. And then the dreams I would have at night, like I thought about getting knocked out like man, like 40 different ways, and I'll get up and train harder to make sure that wouldn't happen.
that's dope. That's dope.
Hmm.
That kind of that's inspirational for me because to be able to get up and turn like because you said scared, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
so you had to turn like the fear into courage. Like fuck that. That's dope. That's dope.
yeah.
Whose turn is it, Chicana?
What do you hope to do after you're like done? Well, this was to her. So, what do you hope to do in the future?
Um, like right now, working with my wife. My wife's still fighting amateur. She's gonna turn pro. So I'm training her. to get ready to make that transition when she wants to. And like I do want all the knowledge that I gained throughout my whole amateur career, and I was even at the Olympic Center and trained at the Olympic Center for a time. Um, like, because there's a lot of kids that are not exposed to the experience I got, so they don't have to go through the same. I guess you can say the same route. They don't have to fight like 80 people to find out something specific. Like I can tell them about it, and then they can train. They can start to train, and then they can learn about it that way rather than fight 80 people to understand something. You see what I'm saying? Kinda like
How is that possible because of technology?
no, because it's like nowadays, like you're not gonna find that many fighters have that many amateur fights. I think The Last of Us were 2005 because when I turned pro with like Andre Ward and like there's a lot of us like Victor Ortiz and I think we're the last ones to have like that many amateur fights. They turned it down a lot nowadays to where fighters are turning pro with only like 20 amateur fights or like 30. So you don't really hear that unless you're overseas or something where them guys are coming with like 500 or 600.
There's a reason for that?
Well,
Is it to
right
protect
now,
your head, like how many blows?
yeah, you know how the United States are. They have a lot to do with it. Trying to prevent from, which is weird because you got more brain damage now than you did before. So.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, you got a question?
Yeah. So, what did a typical training day look like for you leading up to a fight? How did you keep your body and mind in shape?
Like a typical day, and I gotta tell people like if you like something, even if you just like it, something if it has your interest, you have to immerse yourself in it. You just can't dislike it a little bit. So like a typical day would be like I said, like I get up 4 a.m. You run 5 miles, and I did mine 5 miles within an hour. Running 5 miles, and then you see, so that would be 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. And then you rest for a little bit. Then you have like another morning workout with different parts of your body. So I just worked on my legs. So the next one will be, a workout with doing speed or something for another couple hours from like 7 to 9. And then you take another break. And then like from like, I don't know, like 10 to 12, you work on a different portion of your body, like working on power. And then again, then you take another break. And then from like 2 to 3, and I learned this in the Olympics. You do that mentality workout where you watch a lot of videos. You watch a lot of and this is where it comes. What is that thing called? Like that fight or flight thing.
Okay.
How you say it? So the more, yeah.
Butterfly.
So the more
The cortisol.
so the more videos and stuff that I watch, I guess that your mind records it or something. This is what when I was at the Olympic Center, that's what they're telling us. So you watch a lot of videotapes and stuff. So during that quick moment, your brain will go back to whatever file it remembers, and you'll like have a quick reaction to something. And it did help. I mean, later here in a minute, I'll tell you where it worked for me, anyways. And anyways, back to my schedule. Then again, I would work. Would like do swimming or something. And then I'll go to the gym and we'll do pad work from like 4 to 5, like 4 to 6. And then we'll spar from like 6 to 8 with several different people. One guy coming fresh and jump out, another guy coming fresh. So that's a typical day. Whereas other fighters will work out just for like 3 hours at the gym, and they think that's a lot. You see what I'm saying? Would you want to fight a fighter doing that like I was doing, or would you fight a fighter like I was only training for like 2 to 3 hours a day?
Makes sense. It makes sense. Go ahead, Mark.
So like before a big fight, did you have any like rituals for like good luck? Like what was going on in your mind?
Like we're the same dirty calzones?
Um,
I'm playing. Nobody laughed.
Oh, dang. No, I didn't have no rituals or anything. Mine was basically my being scared. Like anytime I just get nervous or scared, I'll go work out or go train because
Mm.
it starts getting to you, you know. Um, Doing everything, and then I have a dream about um that the guy's really fast. So then I'll go watch all the videos of guys like moving and knowing how to get away, and then I'll start training even harder on how to do that, even though I know how to do it. But it was just my nerves, so I just had to calm myself, and then I got really good at it.
Very interesting. So, do you think the dreams were our ancestors, your ancestors, like giving you a heads up what to train for?
No, I think
He
it's
said no.
no, no. It's just like I said. Just, I think a lot of fighters they have to think about the same thing. You know, they train really hard, and they're still having dreams about the fight coming up.
So you
And
mentioned that you were in the Olympics.
yeah,
Um, uh,
in Olympic trials. So I got beat in Olympic trials by 1 point in Bakersfield, California.
yeah, Bakersfield.
Yeah, and the thing about that is, once you get to make it that far, like you don't get to take your coach with you.
Uh huh.
So you gotta whatever coach they got there, they're the ones who kind of like oversee you from that point. So yeah, after my loss, it was to another Puerto Rican guy, but um I had to fight one, and they told me to relax and not lose on points. That I had the whole thing won easily, so I kind of relaxed the last round, and then fuck, they announced him the winner by 1 point. Man, that was like that was crushing, man. That sucked.
So, so who do you think are better boxers, Mexicans or Puerto Ricans? Don't answer. I'm just playing, man. Chicana, go ahead.
What message would you if what message would you like to convey to any young indigenous kids that want to follow in your footsteps?
Um, well, not only my footsteps, but to any other sport. Um, it's a real thing, man. That when you hear other athletes say that all you gotta do is do a little bit more, or just work out or whatever you're doing. That's real. That's a real fact. And if you and I try to convey it to the kids that we talk to on different reservations that what I mean by that is that you don't got to go all out, but just do a little bit more. You know, and I do that from I got that installed in my son's head right now in football when he first started football, and he's really good at football right now. At the high school he's at, he was playing varsity football when he just came from middle school.
Nice. Oh, he's a big boy then, huh?
Well, he's not that he's not that big, but he's big enough to be there. And, so, but I installed that in his head before he even went anywhere. I kept telling him, just do this more, and if you notice, a lot of athletes, their kids tend to become pro in something just as good as they are. It's the reason the parents teach them the the route to take. It's not their genes or anything. It's just their mentality. It's all mental.
Nice.
That was gonna be my follow-up question. They say that winners are ordinary people with extraordinary determination. Would you agree with that, or do you think that either you got it or you don't, regardless of
The
determination?
first one you just said.
Okay, great. So, any kids are listening, or if we can put it in the paper, winners are definitely regular people with extraordinary determination.
And it is, and and I told this to several kids before. But like I went to talk to my son's football team, and I asked them like how are they working out, and a lot of them were just all they were doing was just doing the basic workout from like after school. You know how the teams practice after school,
Yes, sir.
and then that's it. And then they go home, and then they do their lifestyle. So I had to explain to them that
Okay.
every high school team across the nation is doing the exact same thing after school, and then they do their little 2-hour workout, and all the kids go home. But you got the few kids where after school they work out with the team, then they go home and probably do some other workouts with their dad, and then they might watch some other football film, and then they go to sleep. See, just that little extra, the extra activity that
Push.
they do is gonna make them a lot better. And then everybody looks at him like, oh, he got talent and all this. It's no, it's because he put in just a little bit more work, and everyone thinks that it's like genetic or it's either that they're like China said, like special. It's not. It's, all they did is put in just a little bit more time where
Do
everybody
you
else is training the same.
They
do you think that the will to when you get that will to just do more, can that be genetically passed down?
Um, I don't know what genetically, but maybe when they watch their parents or they watch family members go through something like that,
facts, facts.
I think that they know they can do it.
Right. Example, I think, is super important. I mean, there is nature versus nurture, but I believe what's in your nature can either be nurtured to the next level, or it can be completely stomped out depending on your surroundings. So I completely subscribe to that. But my question regarding that is, the first time you won one of your boxing matches, the very first time, do you remember that feeling, that elated feeling that you got when they told you that you were the winner?
Yeah. At my first, that was scary as hell. That went by really fast. That was hard, and I'm not gonna do this shit again.
But when they told you that you were the winner,
Yeah,
I mean,
I was
a
glad.
great feeling, right? So it basically let you know that all that hard work paid off. Now, my question after that is, when you won your first belt, was it the same feeling, or you never quite got that same feeling as the first time?
No, it was a different feeling. Um, because I just now that I'm older, now you kind of I kind of understand um what I'm doing and where I'm going. But as before, as an amateur and stuff, when I'm on the amateur belts, like I still wasn't sure if I was turning pro, and I just knew I was a good fighter, um, but as a professional, you already know your direction. You already know what you're trying to do or what you're trying to achieve. So it's a better feeling, And as a professional, you actually put in work to put in that time to achieve something. Where as an amateur, and that's another thing is nobody dictates an amateur from a professional workout. And I tell that to my son, like, dude, you don't have to train like an amateur. You can train like a professional. Anybody can train like a professional. I don't know why they try to separate the two. Like train like an amateur, train like a professional.
Oh,
You
I
know.
didn't know that.
Absolutely.
I did not know
Absolutely.
that. You got a question, Marky?
Um, I was going to ask a little bit about the community. Um, how do you think sports can create change in indigenous communities? Um, how has boxing served as a tool for empowerment or healing from where you come from?
Um, for two, let's see. I think, like I was saying before, like there's a lot of boxers that come on my reservation, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one who made it probably the highest. But I think now that other fighters seen how high that we can get the fighters from my res, so I think there'll be some young ones that will easily achieve that now. Where we had a lot of good fighters come from our res, but they always got to that point to where they'll come back home to start drinking and they try to go back and fight again. Like somebody from California or New York and like are really training hard, you know what I mean? And then they lose, and then some fighters when they lose they start drinking more, and so we always had real good talent coming off our res for fighting. And they always make it to like 25 and all, and then they kind of fall off from there. The fame starts to get into them, and then they start kind of drinking a lot more, and because alcohol is still back then is still it's still kind of bad on my wrist. It still is today. I think worse actually.
Right.
Why do you think it's worse?
because
Hmm.
because all the like I have so many friends that passed away from just drunk drivers on our res by the age of like 11, like maybe. So you got I seen a friend of mine just get hit by a car and get ran over in front
Uh-huh.
of us, and they're trying to get his body from underneath the car. And
Jesus.
um, but yeah, that was traumatic, and I remember that like it was yeah, that was jeez. But
Why do you have to go through that? For real.
huh?
I really am.
Was that?
I said I'm sorry you had to go through that. I really am sorry. Like, um, it shows a lot of for me, it shows a lot of strength because you didn't succumb to the alcohol and stuff right there in the reservation. So,
Well, I think I would have if I would have later on.
uh-huh.
Um, because there's I don't know if people know. Well, I think people from other reservations know understand when I say this um that when people talk about like if somebody tells you like there's a lot of alcoholism in your family, like what does it really mean? Like for me, every time they had parties and stuff, my mom and them like they'll last for like 2 or 3 days. It was cold outside in Wisconsin, so like when people come in and out of the house, it'd be real cold, or the floor would have still have snow in it inside the house, and people would like all the doors were broken in the home, and um, I remember walking around in the living room or in the kitchen, just kind of enjoying everybody there because I was so happy that family was there. But our socks and stuff would be all wet from the floor, and like there's beer cans everywhere, cigarette butts everywhere, and like all the food was eaten up, and um, that's how I remember everything. Like, and then just people passed out all over the place, and if there's throw up somewhere, kids don't clean it up. It just kind of stays there. And, um, that so I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, it goes deeper. I don't think people realize it when they say, "Oh, there's alcoholism." Because there's a
Yeah.
like,
Sounds like the barrios.
a
Like,
lot of. But at the time,
Um,
it didn't seem bad to me. I thought it was kind of exciting because everyone was having fun, and we got to watch the adults just talk and laugh. So, but now that I look back on it, I'm like, man, that was kind
dysfunctional.
of rough there.
Okay, I got a
yeah, it's,
question. Oh, you go ahead, Marky. Go ahead.
um, I was just gonna say, like alcoholism and substance abuse. I think it stems from a lot of trauma, and you just want to escape. Like
Facts.
that's the way I see it.
And not
You're
just
just
that, like I think a lot of it has to do with not peer pressure, but peer influence.
Yeah,
Because if your friends are doing it and it's looking like it's fun, or you watch your parents do it and party, like a lot of us did. A lot of us have young parents that we watch them party and kick in. It looked fun, it looked like something to do. And so when we became older, it was just something to do. So I think that has a lot to do with it. So more positive role models, because kids will absorb 10% of what you tell them, but 90% of what you show them. Do you agree with that?
I definitely agree with that because there's the things that we did on the res is like that's kind of nuts. Like sniff gas. I don't know why we were doing it, but we would do that. Just, just yeah, and then I remember why I stopped because one of our friends was sniffing it, and he actually got the gasoline like went down his throat a little bit, and then he couldn't breathe, and started choking, and then he like passed out in the living room like shaking, and he's turned blue, and then his dad got up. His dad was all mad. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" And his dad was kicking him and hitting him, yelling at him while he was kind of down on the ground. And the ambulance came, and then I remember that time I was like, "Fuck, I'm not sniffing that shit no more." And
Scared straight.
yeah, and this and suicide too, depression. Like we had friends that hung themselves, and there's just a lot of things I think that I kind of witnessed a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
But, hold on, move my dog, get him off here. But I got not I don't know, say lucky. 'Cause my auntie was going through problems in Kansas. That's one reason why my mom sent me up here to help her, I guess, so she doesn't have any problems or something with her man. But I was only supposed to be up here for like a couple of weeks, but I ended up like living up.
Instead of lucky,
I think that she did that on purpose to get me away.
instead of luck, instead of being lucky, maybe
Yeah.
you think that this this was your calling. Like, would you change your story in any way, or would you leave everything the same?
Well,
That's a good question.
I say it's lucky now, but I didn't think it so before because, like I was saying, the only time I left res is to go to my fights and stuff, but in our res it's a sovereign nation, so we have our own schools and everything. So when I went to like a white school, I guess you want to call it, yeah, that was like really hard because I didn't think I didn't think I was smart. I didn't think that I thought everybody. I just didn't think I belonged there. And there's this like,
There's a lot of separation anxiety.
So do you think?
never
Do you
been
think?
around them that much.
I'm
Like
sorry.
never been around like I guess white tea that much. So and I didn't know some words because I still had like res words, so I had to take like what kind of classes that when I teach how to say words and um like I know English, but a lot of the words I would say they're like that.
You had to take a colonizer class? Just kidding.
They'll be like, that's not a word, and then they tell me a different word. They'll be like, that's not how you say it. That's not a word.
You were being gentrified, my homie.
So
So I have a really quick, I guess, statement question. I believe that because Chicano and myself, we're indigenous. And
I'm indigenous.
I've always felt like there could be so much done if tribes allowed their cousins, like their people, us, to like join in as far as helping out with different different situations, and like allowing us to be not not saying like bring us into the tribe and give us a card and let us take some of your money, nothing like that, but I'm saying I just feel like there's so much that we can contribute as far as support and education and just an outside influence from an outside indigenous person, because it's different for us Chicanos, because we're not on the res. We're out here in the white tea man's world, and we have a different perspective. I believe that sometimes, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, and I'm asking you more than anything. I feel like because the res is so like protected and guarded and gate kept, that it has created like an echo chamber of like passed down trauma. And I feel like with outside influence from relatives, maybe that could be diluted and kind of pushed in a different direction. What do you think about that?
like I didn't know a lot before because I was young, but now I know a lot of tribal leaders now in the reservation, and like I don't think people realize how much problems that they're trying to solve. Like it's like an inner city in itself. Like they're still going through like so much stuff, and there's so much they're trying to fulfill all the tribal members requests, and they're still trying to fight like the government, and like you see what I'm saying? Like they're still doing like a lot of things. So, and I think when people ask them for things or something, they're just like they're
No,
trying.
it's not asking.
Well, no, I don't want to say asking. It's like trying
What
to.
she's proposing is allowing indigenous Chicanos or detribalized
Yeah.
to coming to the, or even because in some cities like in Delano and Arvin, they have communities that are for the Fomeros, and they come and they actually live in these little communities, and I think that's what you're proposing, right, Chicana, where they could
Right. We're
help
like,
reference.
because, okay, here's what prompted that idea, because I know that in Oklahoma, they've had to bring in, because they lack the manpower, the organization, they've had to allow highway patrol outside of the res to come through and patrol on the res. And to me, that's like letting their foot in the door. Once first their foot, then their arm, then their other foot, and pretty soon, um, now now they're subjugating. And I feel like it has to be protected. I feel like the res, its integrity needs to be protected. And if it's manpower that they're lacking, if it's organization, if it's, I feel like there's so much to be said for us street folk, us street gente, you know, the detribalized indigenous that have a lot of experience outside the res to bring a lot. I think we have a lot to contribute to help protect the res. And it's not to say we want um, recognition other than to help preserve it, because you guys are our family and we care and we want to see you flourish. And I know many Chicanos would come, because I know that it can be self-sustaining to where it's thriving like its own city and its own community where you're lifting each other up. Um, there's a group of people in Spring Valley in San Diego. They're called Chaldeans. They're Catholic Iranians. And basically what they did is, I'm going to explain it because I thought this would be genius for tribes, right? Or even the Chicano community. What they can't bring their money over here from their country. So they come here with nothing. And what they did was they came, they established themselves, and they bought a gas station and a house, right? And so when another Chaldean would come or more Chaldeans would come, they would take those Chaldeans in and they would get them a house and a business and hand it to them. And so another one would come, and now those 5 or 6 with their businesses and their homes would pull their money together to purchase a business for this Chaldean. And now they all are thriving. So it's almost kind of like communism a little bit, but they're not settling for mediocre. They're bringing each other in and ensuring success for all of them uniformly. Now, what they also do is, one of their rituals is during their wedding processions or like their events, they all collectively bring gold to the wife for a security. I know this is kind of getting out there, but the idea of how they have started and grown and come from nothing means that it's possible. So if Chicanos were to come in and assist in that. Like, have you ever seen a Mexican work? They can build a house literally in 24 hours. If they were to come in and be welcome into the community as like a safe haven, for them, it would be like a scratch my back, scratch your back type thing where they could help man the street so that you're not letting YT come in and put their foot in the door. Because that's kind of like the harebrained idea in my brain. But I mean, do you think?
Not
No, you
like
don't think anything like that would help?
no, not like
I
not.
think that's a
I
good
had
point.
a different.
That's good. That I like it. But for your first question, or for that first one, that they sold their rights when they asked for help from the YT. And I experienced that when I came to the reservation here in Kansas. Because like I was saying, ours is sovereign. And when I came up here, I got pulled over, but I kind of took off a little bit. I thought, well, if I make it to res, they can't go past the border there. And they, they followed me right on the res, and I was like, what the hell? And I found out that they sold that they sold their rights that the officers from different towns can come right on the res and take you, or they have the right to come on and get you.
I like the idea, Chicana. I really do. I thought you were saying some like I think I don't know. That's up to the that's
I like that
I
idea.
was just asking if maybe not specifically that, but I was just giving an example of how it works, how it's not about um it's not about who you are, it's about what you're bringing to the table.
I
It's
think
about what you're doing to help preserve the end goal, and the end goal is to protect
what people are these, babe?
huh
What people?
the Chaldeans.
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
They're from they're Iranian Catholics.
Iran. Oh, they're from Iran.
Yeah, and
Oh.
they're Catholics. And they're Chaldean, and they literally the most beautiful, most kindest, most salt of the earth people. I haven't met one that hasn't been just the most loving and generous, like that's just their way. And it's so beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, these people are just so amazing. And the way they take in their own and set them up, they literally get them a house, and everybody contributes to make sure that not one of them are wanting for anything. I'm sorry?
Iranian. No, I'm sorry.
I just thought that it was a really model way of being a community. I admired it a lot.
That does make a lot of sense. I don't know why. I guess if I was more in politics, but I don't know why anybody don't look that way. That does make a lot of sense. And that does seem like it.
Right? It's like a win-win. Like you're
That
not
work
bringing
like
white tea in, you're bringing your own relatives in.
they have. I don't. Their division and the reason for coming and all that. I don't think they have the same problems as us. Do they? I don't know. I like every idea. I just I don't. That one seems hard.
I was going to ask a little bit more about your career in boxing.
Yeah.
So, how has boxing like affected you physically, like later in your life? Do you have any health challenges that you go through? Did you suffer any type of injuries?
No, I've been fortunate that because of my speed, and at one point when I was light heavy, I was considered the second most hardest hitter behind Tavares Cloud. So a lot of my fights, people were running from me, and I had to chase them down. So I never really got into like a good battle because I hit too hard, and there's always like the hit me, hold me. Even when I lost the WBA title in Germany, just how that guy fought me, like he'd throw 1-2 punches at me and grab me and hold me. Throw a few punches and hold me. So I never really got like hit a lot, or you know what I mean?
Did you feel the urge to bite him in the ear?
A little bit. But yeah, my wife just got it. Do you guys want to say hi real quick?
Sure, please.
Oh,
Hey, Mrs. Marcus.
I just want to say hi to me.
Hello.
Hello.
How goes it?
Good. How are you doing?
You're good. We're just interviewing your husband here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He talks a lot. I'm sorry. No.
No, it's good. I like to listen to him because I think he could bring a lot of hope to our people. As of you too, he's told us a lot about you.
Oh, he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my wife. She's getting ready for work. So,
Chicana, you want to say hi, Chicana?
huh? Oh, I already walked away. I already walked away from her. She was getting ready.
You want to say hi, Chicana?
I'm not by her no more. I came
Oh,
downstairs.
okay. Well, I guess Chicana's not by her phone either. So.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, this whole time I was saying hi and my mic was muted.
Oh.
I was like, hi. I was like, why is Chicano saying that? And then I look and I'm like, oh crap, my mic is muted. I'm so sorry. Please tell her hi. I said hi like 3 times.
All right.
Um,
Oh, so yeah, I didn't have that much well, I guess you would say that not brain damage, but I haven't had that much wars in the ring.
mm,
He said brain damage.
I would say that. I
so,
would definitely say brain damage because I know a lot of fighters that were younger than me, but they talk a lot slower and they're kind of off balance. You can tell that it takes a lot out of you when you spar
Uh-huh.
and anytime you fight because the gloves are only 10 ounce gloves. So
Right.
I mean, I definitely believe that you get hit enough in the head that it messes you up.
Do you get checked like annually for that or?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do MRIs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you get punch drunk.
Yeah.
What is it?
Punch drunk.
Punch drunk?
Punch drunk is where you always seem like you're drunk because you've been punched so many times. So
Yeah.
you
Oh,
like
wow.
slur your words a little bit, you're a
You
little bit
stagger a little
slower,
bit.
you
Keep it going.
stagger a little bit. So everyone always thinks you're drunk, but it's not that you're drunk. It's just that you've been hit in the head so many times that you appear like Muhammad Ali got it had it like towards the end, like his words were slurry and it wasn't that he was drunk at all. He's completely sound of mind. It's just that his motor functions aren't the same because he's been hit so many times. So they call it punch drunk.
I used to be like that when I was a kid.
Punch drunk?
I was punch drunk all the time.
Oh, like punch and drunk? Like punch? Oh, that's funny.
You get it when you have head injuries as well.
Who's that?
No,
That's
it
what I'm saying.
happens to kids as well. It happens to kids that get hit a lot. Like if a kid gets smacked in the head constantly, a kid could be kind of slow. I mean, they recover because they're little and they're still developing. But yeah, that's a form of abuse, but it can happen. A kid can get punch drunk, even form a stutter.
Hmm. Um, so when you were
Like,
talking about the Boston journey, is there any like lessons that you've learned from that experience, that defeat, that kind of like reshaped your views of what success and failure is?
I learned that when you travel to different countries, they got their tactics to try to mess you up, to where you wouldn't win. So when you hear fighters say that, it's a true thing. Like for mine, I was supposed to go up there like several weeks before the fight. I ended up going up there a week before the fight. The gym I was supposed to train at supposedly it flooded, so we didn't have no gym to train at. We just kind of went in the hotel lobby or whatever to try to get whatever workout there. And for the sauna to try to lose weight, we literally had to drive almost 2 hours to wherever to the town next to us. We're in Germany, wherever that was at.
that's
Try to- And in the contract, they had me at the building at the arena at 5 o'clock. So I was there at 5 o'clock. We didn't fight till midnight. And I remember him coming into the building around like 11, 10 o'clock. I was there all day, sitting on it. Like there wasn't nothing comfortable in that where we were at. They had chairs and stuff. So I lay down on the concrete, get up, walk around, lay down. By the time the fight it was fight time, I was like exhausted. I was just kind of,
and you still won that fight?
yeah, that's when I lost in Germany.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Then they stole my gloves, my Reyes gloves. So if you watch that fight, we both had the identical gloves on. Those other gloves were mine. officials said that they didn't know where they were, but they took them.
Just really quick, Manam, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I can't wait to be able to talk to your wife. I have so many questions. I'm super proud of the hard work and dedication that you guys put into kids. You guys are true activists and role models, and I appreciate you completely. I'm just gonna step down for a minute. Me and my daughter have made a promise to work out at a certain time, and I'm on a mission myself to part of my decolonizing process. I'm trying to get back into the best shape. I used to be able to do a 5-minute plank, so my goal is to be able to do that
That's my baby.
come July. I'm sorry.
I said that's right. No, no.
Right.
I can't.
So
I don't think I've ever
my
even tried a 5 minute plank. But I'm sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I did. I could run. Yeah, I could do it. I was in the best shape of my life, but things happen and life kind of throws you a curveball sometimes, but I'm back on my game. So I'm gonna step down, do my thing. I appreciate you so much. Chicano, call me when you're done. Thank you guys so much.
All right, Chicano.
Right.
All right, baby.
Take
Yeah, man. Thank you for being the first Mensaje live interview that we're trying to learn how to do, and it's cool. Thank you, man. For real.
Yeah.
maybe like one more question.
No, I got 3 more questions, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. So what would you tell young boxers who look up to you? Like what is essential for success in this sport?
The dedication and the time you put into it.
Dedication and time.
And it's easy. It's real simple. It's real easy, but it's hard for people to do. Like I was telling you before, like I talk to kids and I tell them to get up every morning and do something, or to put in a little extra work, and they do it for like maybe 2 days, and then they go back to whatever routine they're doing. So,
Is there a piece of advice that you received when you were coming up that stays with you even to this day?
Good question.
let me think here. No, I mean there wasn't any specific thing like I would revert to. I was just fortunate to keep following in the line to what pushed me in that direction, to push me to that dedication part, or been around the right people like would push me in that direction. But there was nothing that I reverted to like stay in my head like to keep doing this or keep doing that. So this is something I just kind of ran like I just
Like autopilot.
yeah. And then I was like, man, I wish somebody would have told me this when I was younger. I would have been a lot better. But
What would you tell your younger self? Like if you go back in time, you give them a piece of advice. What would that advice be?
train a lot more and to work out a lot more, and the training and the visualization. Like I didn't know that was a thing. The classes that they had like at the Olympic Center, like the visualization class.
Yeah.
So whatever you like, just watch a lot of it. Your brain will start seeing maps and stuff like in football or something. Like your brain will start seeing all these different plays, all these different things going on at once, and then when you're actually in the game, it's familiar to you. You know what I mean? You're not going into the game not knowing kind of what's not going on.
Right. Right.
It
I had actually watched a movie just to kind of like mentally prepare in a way for like this interview. That movie Cinderella Man. It's like a boxing movie. Did you ever see that one?
I watched Rocky.
I think it may have.
I'm familiar.
Was it back in the day when they're in that depression era?
Yeah, the Great Depression. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah.
What are they? Are they like Sicilian or something?
I don't know. I just know it's the Great Depression. I think in Chicago or something. But there's a scene where they're looking over the fights, like before he gets in the ring, he's just like watching him fight, and that's kind of how he knew what was going to happen when he was in the ring.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense because you hear Tyson. If you ever go back to old interviews of Tyson talking,
Uh-huh.
you hear him talk about that Customato. He would watch tape over and over again. He said he would watch all the old school fighters, and so he even took that route. But maybe Customato knew it at the time, but Tyson didn't. But he watched all them videos.
Yeah.
So in doing so and watching them videos of everybody fight, you see all these different styles of fighters and stuff like that, and so mentally you're already prepared for all these different styles, and you're not really shocked by it. I wouldn't want to jump in the ring and then something just brand new just happened. Like I've never seen this.
Right.
I at least want to be familiar with it and understand it, how to overcome it somewhat, I guess.
I was watching this one thing on YouTube. The studio was talking about how he used to watch like roosters fight, watching how roosters fight. So like he would jump in the ring and nobody would be able to hit him, because he's like literally fighting like a rooster.
Oh yeah, you talking about Roy Jones?
I don't know his name.
Yeah, he said how they move around and be quick and trying to yeah, I remember Roy Jones had an interview like that. He was saying something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I got only one question.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
I would also tell kids it doesn't matter where you're at, and this is one of the things I told my son. That's why he's good at football, and I was that a kid might be like, well, I just started, and this kid next to me, he's been doing it for 2 years. Or the kid after that's been doing it for 5 years, and everybody gets more experience. And I just started, and I told my son, I was like, well, then catch up to him. They probably, like a basketball player, like if this other shooter's shooting the ball, if he's been playing basketball for like 3 years, I know how many times has he shot the ball. Go in the gym and shoot like 3,000 shots a day. By the end of that week, and that's thousands upon thousands of shots. So you can catch up to somebody, because if you look at the way they're training, they're not doing a whole lot. Like boxing, they're just hitting their mitts, hitting the bag. And what I was doing is like for my hooks, I was actually just for my hooks, I throw like maybe 3,000 hooks, and just for my right hands, I'll do the same 3,000 right hands.
So
And
true. So
and
much.
then jabs, I'll throw like the same amount. So by the end of the day or end of the month, you'd actually catch up to whoever you thought was doing it a lot more.
Facts. I try to draw every. I do. I draw or sketch or do some kind of art every day.
Yeah. You get a lot better, and you probably don't. You trust me, you get better at it. The more you do something, you just naturally just become better at it.
So here's my last question, brother. Who do you think is better, Mexican fighters or Puerto Rican fighters? No, I'm playing. That's not the best. No, I'm playing. Okay. Do you think the boxing industry is better now than it was before? And do you I know you recommend like cause just to do anything, but do you think the indigenous population have a future and to being represented correctly in the boxing industry right now? So I guess it's like a two-part question.
Well, I mean, the sports overall, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more natives starting to show up in sports,
Uh-huh.
in college sports too. Like before, there wasn't, but now you're starting to see a lot more natives doing different things, or even winning medals in the Olympics, and so you're seeing a lot more of them making it to like the NBA and and stuff like that. So when one does it, it gets pretty exciting, you know.
Yeah.
But they're starting. It's starting. It really is starting to. You see a lot more.
So do you think the industry is better than it was before?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, and that's it, brother. I mean, I could
Is there
send you
any
my address
questions?
so you can send the belt and we could cluck it. And I'm playing with you, fool. Okay, that's too much, but yeah, that was
Um,
great. Go ahead.
is there anything you want to share with us? Do you have any questions for us?
Um. Probably. But what people don't know is some of the reasons why I quit is well because I told you guys that I didn't like the sounds and the smell, and then there's other reasons too where I was making all this money, and there's a lot of alcoholics and users in my family, and I
Yeah.
noticed that the better I got, that the more opportunities and more things became available to my family.
Mhm.
And there was several times when I thought, man, if I actually thought I was gonna kill somebody in my own family, because not personally, but I thought that's my nephew. He's doing that, and then people will start giving him more drugs or more alcohol.
Okay.
I was
Oh,
getting
you just
scared.
opened up a whole new world of questions now.
'Cause I was getting scared for my family. Like, man, they're gonna. And my uncle, if you look, my uncle Jeff Pomaska, he died from alcohol like a day before my fight, for
Mhm.
my title fight, but nobody wanted to tell me because they knew that was kind of messed me up.
So that was the sort of the question I was asking. Like, do you feel that it's good for like the industry? And that's what I think I was meaning. Like, how it could affect like getting money and just opening other doors, and that's what I was
I
trying
think
to.
maybe it'd be hard for like a really poverty family. Maybe I don't know. Like if they're really into like drug uses and alcohol, and maybe they won't have they'll have a hard time trying to deal with that extra money they got. Maybe, but for that's how it was for my family. I was getting just scared for my brothers,
So
and
like a lot of partying started happening.
yeah, a lot of it. And then
Oh,
I
okay.
also came to the conclusion later on during that fight too, is I thought that, because I remember looking into the crowd, and then I remember thinking that I was just entertainment, kind of, like they don't care if I'm brain fucked up or anything. They don't care. I just thought they're just using us just to watch two people beat each other up, and not kind of like just dancing in front of them.
Yeah.
And I
Did
didn't
it?
feel, I
Oh,
didn't
I'm
feel
sorry. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I remember not feeling too good about that after I started thinking that. I was like, man, is this? Cause I looked at boxing a different way. Like one of like people are like, I know Don King, and all those guys don't care if you get messed up in the head or if your body gets broken down, or. And I'm like, I kind of didn't want to go out there and kind of perform again. I was just kind of like, but that's how I was thinking though, you know.
So do
But
you think that it's something that if they go into boxing, like the young youth, um, something that they should like learn on their own, like that kind when you start getting fame and wealth and money and you
you
know?
actually, you should actually look into that, and I think there's even actually there's thing on TV about the people like win them lotteries too.
Hmm.
When they get all that money, and their life kind of goes downhill when they get all that money.
Mhm.
You see that? Didn't you guys ever watch some documentaries about that? The people who've been
Yeah.
in.
I haven't seen the documentary, but I've heard about that. In like I don't know 5-10 years or so, they look back on the winners, and a lot of them are unalived, and a lot of them are in debt,
Yeah.
and they lost everything. you know.
Hey, your
Um,
picture's freaking me out, Marky.
my picture.
Nah, it just it, I like it. It's just like thing to ask, like if well, I think Marky kind of asked it, but oh, Abuela, if you have a question, you feel free to ask Phenomenon if you got time still.
Oh yeah, we could open up the panel and
Yeah,
everything. If
let's do
anybody in the
that.
comments wants
You
to
guys want
ask
to
any.
come here and participate? Feel free, please. Um, I'm excited. I think we could do this, Marky Mark. Um,
Hmm. So it's like records or
yeah,
something,
so
or
I'll just download it and then I can send it to you through WhatsApp, and then we could cut it up and screw it and pass it down and rub it down.
yeah, I was gonna listen to it, if that's possible, and just kind of dissect it and pull it apart and just like put together something in like a like article format.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. Do you think we got enough content, or was it
Um,
deep enough? How do you feel about the questions that we asked you, Phenomena? If you think there's anything that we could improve on,
I think this like work in progress. Like like I loved helping you guys out, and then maybe like the next time you guys have interviews with people, like it'll get better and better.
yeah,
And not only in sports, but in just over anything, you know.
yeah, that's my that'll be a cool goal, like to record just our people's trials and successes and just have them
mhm.
like manuscripted or something. That'd be dope.
You think I should put like the date of birth, like
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. You want to give your date of birth out, or it's probably
yeah,
already out, huh?
how like a lot of like things will show like the date of birth, like born Marcus,
I think
and
don't
then
forget to put his. Do you know, um, what tribe is exactly the name of your tribe again, brother, or the
Menominee,
reservation, or
Menominee Nation.
Benami Nation?
Yeah,
Menominee Nation.
Nice.
So that's Wisconsin.
yeah, Kishina,
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
That's where Jeffrey Dahmer's from.
He's from Milwaukee.
That's good.
Probably about 2.5. That's 2.5 hours from us over there.
Hey, do you have like any? Do you have like any rings that are like given to boxers?
No, just trophies and belts. I got like a bunch. But that'd be cool if they did that, like football games.
How about like a little pamphlet or something, like a flyer that was of you? Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, I got a bunch of like I was about to text it to your phone if you wanted one because there's me and Virgil Hill. You remember Virgil Hill? He's a WWE world champion.
Yeah, just say, you could send anything that like from your younger
Yeah.
to whatever time to when you got up with what's his name again? Ah,
Oh, and if you go to my Facebook, Marcus Oliveira Pomasca, I have tons of stuff on it because I have a fan page on there too. And like,
I want exclusive stuff, carnal.
no, what?
I want exclusive stuff that nobody has. Por favor.
Oh, like exclusive? Is that what
Exclusive
you mean?
stuff that nobody's seen, so we could be like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything that no one's seen. All the articles and all because I got all these magazines that I'm in.
Stuff like that. We thought. Did you ever come out in Sports Illustrated or anything?
No, I mean the
No.
biggest thing is probably just the ringside, that ringside. What do you call it? The ring, like shit like that. I used to look my name up every time I got higher and higher in the rankings. But
All right.
Mm.
Yeah. Anything else, brother, Mark? You think we are you satisfied with our first char run, or
Um,
well,
I can't think of.
I could add a few things real quick.
go for it, brother?
Remember I was telling you guys that if you have an interest in something, all you gotta do is all you have to do is
Set like jump into it. Yeah, yeah.
So when I started going to school over here at Haskell University, and I never played basketball before in my life, but that's one of the main things here in Kansas is everyone's playing basketball. So, and I actually really cycling bounce a ball. I wanted to be in the mix with everybody, you know. So I actually put in work extra just I already knew what to do. But the 2 years I played at high school, I made like all conference, and then I got an offer to play semi-pro basketball somewhere in New Mexico. But I turned it down. But that just shows I knew what to do to get that level, you know, because you had other basketball players like played their middle school, high school, and played all them years and got to college, and they still didn't get the offer. Something like that I got, you know.
So you're
Now,
saying keep your options open.
no, it's just like if you just devote yourself to whatever. You got. I say you got to immerse yourself in it.
Immerse yourself. Okay.
So you can do anything. I didn't like basketball, but I did it because everybody else was doing it, and to be good at it, I knew what I had to do, and everything I learned from boxing, I put into basketball. So I watched a lot of tape. I practiced dribbling more, I shot more. I worked on my hops, so I got more strength in my shoulders so I could hold the ball. I kept repeating that every day. I ain't going to practice basketball practice, and I end up, you know, just in that 2 years, I got the all conference, and then.
Do you feel like giving back to your people and us, just all of us in general, like our people? Like, do you feel that you now
Oh yeah.
an activist and you are you you know? 'Cause I
Yeah,
heard you say that you're helping the kids and stuff like that. Maybe you could emphasize more on that. Or
yeah.
oh man, coffee cup, coffee cup.
My wife said this is
No, no, go ahead, brother. Oh, if you
you got
gotta go, just let us know, brother.
for me.
Yeah.
No. I don't gotta go.
Okay. But yeah,
Not only reservations we go to other. This last time we went to is in Nebraska. You can ask her about it whenever you guys set this interview up, whatever. But that was all Mexican base, and we talked. She gave her story and talked to motivate kids there, and she didn't only do it with the kids, but the elders with the elders too. Kind of went in depth about boarding schools and stuff, like where her mom was, and so we kind of just go all over the nation and talk to different reservations and kids, and so giving back like that. And I'm trying to, like I just told you guys, I try to tell them the inside information how to be better at something, so you don't have to necessarily be from a big.
consider yourself part of the indigenous resistance.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
Nice.
Wanting to achieve and wanting to be good at everything, you know. If I find an easier method, you know, I want to try to explain to somebody so they can be better at it. You
Can you do a war cry?
know? Uh-uh.
I've been practicing. Well, I haven't practiced in like probably more than a week, but I was because I started trying to do it, and one of them came on like, "Ah!" and it was just like, oh shit, and so yeah, but
Um, so like when you were coming up, like as a boxer and like professionally, um, since you're a native and there aren't very many natives, boxers and all that, did you face any type of like discrimination or
No,
anything?
because because if you look at my picture, you know, I'm already dark, and and you know my last name, so I always got along with a lot of the like I was good friends with Brandon Rios, and I've seen them kind of guys on Victor Ortiz and stuff, and so I had a good insight on kind of every race, you know, before I fought. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So There wasn't really no discrimination. Or how do you say it? Discrimination?
I got a
Discrimination.
question. So, what
That's good.
race? What race is the hardest race that you fought in? That you could feel that gave you the best fight or the best run
You
for your money?
know, Cuban.
The Cubans.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only one I had actually really think. And he was like a world champion amateur fighter, and that was the first time I felt like I was playing chess.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay,
All
okay.
right.
everything he did was I was
Have you ever
barely.
fought a Mexican?
Yeah. Yep.
Did he have
He said, yeah. That's
so did
funny.
he have like a really unique style or something? Was it like something that you aren't used to?
What it is experience. So when you start fighting somebody who has a lot of experience,
Uh-huh.
the fight's harder. And a perfect example of that would be that fight that just happened a while back. What is that? The two Russians that fought each other. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't know.
Hmm.
These are high caliber fighters, and you can see that it becomes a chess match because all the tricks that you learn throughout the years you try to project on somebody, like they don't fall for it. And that's what boxing is not only physical but it's mental too. You try to set you up into certain traps, and you can identify them, or how do you stop somebody who's real fast? Like you got to get off the ring and stuff, or how do you someone who punches really hard and got a lot of power? How do you take their power away? You do a lot of feints, and then you block, and then you try to get their arms tired, so then you can start feeling their power start to diminish. So there's all these little things you do to try to break a fighter down.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
it's not only like a physical sport, but it's a mental sport too, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I think it gets mental even if you become successful, and the amount of like the like the money and everything, that something that maybe like we should maybe prepare.
Like if you watch the Mayweather, when Mayweather fought Canelo.
Hmm.
See,
Yes.
you see how much Canelo got hit because he wasn't moving his head. But then after that fight, look how Canelo fights. He started moving his head, and then he fights other fighters like Mayweather. Now Canelo moves so good that you can't hit him. So,
Mm.
so he learned right after that fight. Unlike other fighters, like they don't learn. They just keep fighting the same way. He learned
I
like
love this idea. Do you feel that like we should have maybe set up maybe if young indigenous get into boxing, maybe besides the training, along with the training, be a mental, I guess, like, what is it, emotional, all of the things we need, intelligence to be able to deal with, the products that you get from becoming successful in it.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
definitely
Like,
had something like that. Like I wish I had something like that when I fought when I lost that title. Somebody who's really experienced, like who made it that far before.
uh-huh. And
So
got you ready for, like, so you were more emotionally ready for, like, the money and the success, right?
yeah, know what to watch out for, and all that. Yep.
You got anything else, Marky? Because I want to um
Yeah,
end
yeah.
the like, whenever we end the live, I want to end it so I could download it and then come back to live so I could just
Right.
put that one with this one.
Okay. Let's see. So this one has to do a little bit of philosophy. Like, how do you see boxing as a metaphor for life? Like, what lessons from the ring do you think apply outside of it?
Mm,
Um,
crafty there.
How would I say for me? I would think that, and I know it sounds kind of like ordained, but never give up. But in a certain way, but you have like I don't want to say if you get beat and you don't give up and you keep getting beat, I would say yeah you need to give up. But if you train hard and you get beat and you still put in all the effort and stuff, you can actually make a comeback and be really successful at something. So just don't give up easy. Look at your mistakes and come back even harder. You see what I'm saying? Like
I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, that was cool. Say it again.
um um if you get beat and stuff, don't give like if you get beat and stuff and keep coming back and getting beat, like I would say just give up. But for somebody who's actually dedicating herself
Uh,
and they get beat and they keep dedicating and they keep seeing their faults and they keep trying to improve on it, then I say don't give up. Just keep coming back, and you will, achieve something.
Yeah, we could like open up the panel and see if anybody here has any questions for him. I don't know if Abuela is still there.
I think she fell asleep. She feels comfortable here, so she goes to sleep. Forms and stuff. Get her out of there.
Oh,
Chicana and Abuela cannot go in there no more. Please. Our women don't need that kind of fuck that. Guava, how you doing, carnal? Thank you for coming in. You have
Yeah.
a question that you would like to ask?
Did you say who your childhood heroes were?
I, like I told everybody before, I didn't really have, come from the res. I didn't have any. Like there wasn't anyone that made to look up to. Like I want to follow this guy. I want to do that. So I was kind of doing everything blind.
Besides yourself, do you think there's any other indigenous role models there is in boxing? Can you, if you know any?
No, well, I turned pro with quite a few of them that I thought like. Well, there's Virgil Hill. There's
Mhm.
I know a Comanche boy from Oklahoma, and I know let's see, yeah, he just fought Cugly for a title too. Um, one second here.
Guava,
Wouldn't be mad if I don't remember his name. Hold on.
ask away, Guava. If you got some questions, ask away. Don't be shy, brother.
does Maui want to come up here?
If he wants to come up here, Maui could come up here. He's my brother.
Uh, I got I got one question. I think I'm not sure if you said it. But did you ever feel like was there
I
anyone
don't
you
even know
felt
what's
like
going on,
especially
dude.
bad for beating?
Say that again.
Was there anyone you felt bad for beating?
Oh yeah, definitely. I actually felt that quite a few times. I was trying, and there's nothing you can do except try to look at the ref and wonder why his people are not stopping the fight, and then I even wonder to myself like, why are you fighting if you're this easy to beat, and you can tell that they're not training a lot. So,
You took it easy on him, or did you knock him out?
um, I didn't. I tried. What I did try to do is do a lot of body shots, and hopefully they would give up. And some of them didn't give up, and I talked to them the next day or something, and they told me, I wish you would have just knocked me out because I'm pissing blood now. And I'm like, but yeah, I felt bad. Like there's some fighters, and you'll see that on TV sometimes when the fighter kind of back off with somebody because they realize that they start feeling it's kind of like sorry for the other guy or kind of feeling like because you actually do cause a lot of harm to somebody if you knock them out. Like I don't want to knock out somebody and then they can't really something bad happens.
Right.
Nice.
I was watching this thing on YouTube where there was this fighter. This fighter, he was like completely paralyzed because he kept getting hit in the back of the head,
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
and it like ruined his whole career or his life. It ruined
Yeah,
his
it don't
life.
take a whole lot of punches neither for that to happen.
So, do you think boxing is barbaric? Because I've heard people say that.
Well, yeah, yeah. Like I just told you earlier, like there was a time I was standing in. This is when we were holding each other in the middle of the ring when we're fighting during a match, and I could see out in the crowd people are like cheering, laughing, and all that, and I kind of felt like like we're just sitting there fighting for entertainment, just to beat on each other like some like barbaric, and they don't care like. And here we are trying to make two guys that are come from kind of nothing to try to become something and get that money, and we're in here fighting for it. And people, just watching us. I remember feeling kind of like not want to be anybody's entertainment no more, and like no one really cares about my health and stuff. And so, I mean, I got to that point. That's one of another reasons why I quit too. So, yeah, it does get it is barbaric kind of. I mean, look at all the fighters, MMA and all that stuff. Look what it does to them towards the end. You know,
Mhm.
You think it's worth it?
I mean, if you know when to stop, yeah, or when you know when to quit, it's worth it.
Right.
Maui.
What's up, brother?
You got a question for Nam?
Yeah, it sounds like he's a boxer or something.
Man, you ain't been paying attention?
I just got in here a little bit, like not
Oh
even 30
man, who
minutes
let you
ago.
up, Maui?
Oh,
It wasn't me.
but that's dope. You're a boxer. I mean, that's fucking badass, man. I got a lot of friends that did that.
He's an indigenous native.
Oh, he's native too?
Oh, you
Not
don't
just
know,
any
you don't
boxer.
know Phnom? You don't know Phnom? Oh man,
I
who
don't
let
know
Maui
any of this
up?
stuff, bro. I don't.
Maui,
Okay,
go to the
I'm
corner,
paying
Maui.
attention. Hold on.
Put your nose in the corner, Maui. Go to the corner. My
Okay.
dad used to do that shit to me. I used to hate that shit. I just play Maui. But yeah, this is Marcus. He's a world champion boxer. He
Oh shit!
the
Congratulations,
he's
brother. That's amazing.
Manon Nation. It's
But
a native tribe over there in Wisconsin.
I'll
Um,
follow you for sure. I didn't know any of that. That's
he,
fucking badass.
his wife is Navajo, and she's a champion boxer.
She's the
Um,
nay.
yes, sir. And yeah, Manan
Whoa.
Phanam, he just
That's fucking.
giving back to our people, and just beautiful man, good man. And he's the first interview live for the mensaje that we're doing. So he's
Oh, okay, okay. Well, it's nice to meet you, man. I'm Maui. I'm Cherokee Chicano. I'm in Oklahoma.
yeah,
Um,
I was just telling you guys, I know another guy from Oklahoma, Comanche boy, that used to fight.
yeah, I kind of heard you, but man, I just got home from work, man. I managed a dispo and stuff like that. Like I was opening a freaking taco, honestly. So I kind of heard it and I kind of didn't.
It's not taco, it's taco.
Taco, got it. But no, that's what'd you say his name was from Oklahoma again?
Comanche, that's his boxing name is Comanche boy, but his name is George Telenapa.
I've heard the name Comanche Boy. Definitely, I've heard that name. I mean, I think everyone in Oklahoma's heard that name.
Yeah.
That's definitely a name that people know.
So
No, that's fucking cool. You know him?
at one, yeah. We're good friends, and so at one point they had all the top native fighters, which is Sean Hawk, myself, and Comanche boy fighter on the same card.
Damn. Yeah, I didn't follow boxing per se a lot. I like watching it, and I like seeing highlights. And then there's certain matches I'm like, okay, I'll watch that, but I never dove into it. But I've watched like movies and documentaries and stuff on
That's
it.
what I
And
want to ask you. What's your favorite boxing movie, Phenomenal?
Probably just the Rockies, but other than that, I can't watch movies that have to do with boxing because I see so much stuff where I'm like, you can't do that or that. Like that.
what do you think of the? Did you think this whole Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight was just stupid? It shouldn't even happen.
Yeah, I don't think it should happen.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was just curious if, from your point of view,
Oh,
you thought the same.
my bad. My brother Styles in here. Let's see if we can get Styles up and maybe
T's
ask
in
a
here.
few off the hip some questions. Are you bound, Styles?
That's fucking dope. No, there is a fighter I follow in MMA. He's a Hawaiian fighter, indigenous fighter. He's fucking badass. Oh, I can't think of his team name.
The Diaz, Nate Diaz was in my corner on one of my last fights on that Jake Paul undercard.
Okay.
So yeah, man, we were gonna try to make this once a month or whatever, and it's
This
gonna
is
be
dope,
an
dude. I like
article
this.
that me and Chicana and Marky are gonna, try to do like El Mensaje interview live, and yeah.
So are you just doing like fighters, or are you doing just all
No, we're
kinds
just
of?
gonna do like I think we're gonna bring just a spotlight to
Influential people. Yeah.
successful indigenous. Go ahead, Mark.
Just people that, could be like a good influence, influential people.
I can get y'all some people from Oklahoma. I can get y'all. It's a native hip hop artist group here. A lot of people know who they are, but I could talk to them. Tell them you're doing like an interview about stuff like that.
Just put in a request and I'll see it when I can. I'm playing.
Yeah. There's a bunch of artists out here, man, for real. Native artists, like musical artists out here.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going?
What's up? How's it going?
Pretty good. Where's my mom at?
That's what I was wondering.
She just jumped off a little while ago. After she asked all her questions and she said she was going somewhere.
She's going with her daughter.
Oh yeah, she was calling you. Oh, she's lying to me.
She has more than one daughter out here. She's probably talking about the other one.
Good clean.
Do you have any boxing questions, T?
Oh, yeah. Please, if you're new on the panel, we want to ask as many questions as we can for.
My son is actually, girl, knock it off. Sorry, she's supposed to be in bed. She's freaking out over a pencil. My son is actually in boxing. We just got him in boxing. He's 6 years old and he really likes it.
You got any questions? Like maybe for Phenomenal about that? Like, what should you feed them?
Well, I'm good on the nutrition stuff, but I was wondering, like, is it okay? So, like, as a mom, I don't want to. I leave that out to my husband, right? I don't want to, like, overstep with this. This is like my husband's territory, but my concerns are him getting like hit in the head. Do you think it would be out of line if I told the coaches that I don't want him to be getting hit in the head?
He's boxing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's that young,
He's 6. I don't want no one hitting him in the head. Like,
coaches are pretty smart about putting kids.
or how effective do you think that little helmet is when they box? Why are you laughing?
It'll help them. I mean, the kids.
Boxing, Chile.
Yeah, kids 6 years old are not gonna hit that hard.
They can't like kick or trip him or something instead?
No, he'll be okay. Like, kids are resilient.
We didn't have helmets, and we're okay.
Hey,
I'm gonna send him
when I
to
was
school.
little,
I'm gonna send him there with a helmet.
when I was in Bell Gardens, my dad put me in boxing. I think I was like 7, 8, and
Yeah.
I was pretty good. And right there, it was the boys' club. And then when I went back the next quarter when we to go train again, they had to close it down because the coaches stole all the money, and then I never got to box again.
Like if you're concerned about it a lot, like I was telling these guys, like when you're that young, you haven't watched a lot of boxing videos of fighters that move their head a lot.
He's
You know,
into it. Like he's really into it. Have you seen those things? Sometimes there's these ads that come up from TikTok Shop, and it's like a thing they put on the wall and it lights up and you hit it and it goes in circles. Have you seen that?
yeah.
We got him that. He likes it a lot, and he's got like his good form where he puts his legs and his arms and shit. He likes that a lot.
Yeah, I think your son will be fine. Usually when they go to gyms like that, like coaches and stuff won't put them in a ring to go all out and fight each other all out when they're not that experienced.
My son is really big though. He's 6 years old, but he wears the size of an 8-year-old.
Nice.
He's a really big kid. He looks like he's fucking 9 or 10.
I think, and I don't know. I know that you're, but maybe just
So it's shit.
give it to the creator. Like he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be fine. That's you're not the only one who worries that. There's a lot of parents that think
Well,
the
I
same
feel like
thing.
as the mom, that's my job to worry about that. My husband, he's like a tough football playing, like, you know, manly man type of dude. So he's like, oh, that's what men are supposed to do. And I'm just like, oh, that's my baby though.
Yeah, he'll be fine. The dads, everything, they'll know that. They'll know that. They ain't gonna let their kids get hit too much. They'll come to the same conclusion. Like, then there's a certain path that they'll push their kid. You know.
Yeah, and for him, it's like he wants us to teach. He said like sports like that teach the kids discipline and stuff. So I mean, I agree with that. What made you guys want to do a panel about boxing? That's hella random.
Because this is an interview that we're doing for El Mensaje, and we're doing like an interview live type of thing, and then we're gonna download it and make it like into writing form, and just make videos and just something we can do.
Well,
I
that's
want to put like the spotlight on successful indigenous us.
That's
So we
dope.
have to look at it.
I fell down a rabbit hole yesterday about copper.
Copper.
Copper, how's that?
Sorry, I got distracted.
Go ahead,
You
go
know those water bottles that you be seeing everywhere? It's like people see stuff on the TikTok Shop, and then it's like, oh, everyone's like an expert about it. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of skeptical about certain things, like certain trending things, especially when it comes to health and wellness, because people don't know what the hell they're talking about. But there's this water bottle going around that's made out of copper, and everyone's like, oh, you know, it does this for your health, it does that for your health, like, you know what I mean? It's for this and that. And so, of course, me being me, I'm like naturally like, okay, I need to know everything about it in life. So I went down like a 2-hour research on copper last night about like everything that it does for you and how it absorbs. So copper is one of the main minerals that you need to survive, like in life, right? And it like, okay, if you don't do it right, there's like copper that's the metal. Same with iron, like the iron pills you get at the store, it has actual flakes of iron in it. But there's like plants that have iron in that, like in them, that's not metal, but it's natural iron that your body can absorb naturally. You know what I mean? That's the same thing with copper. So if you drink out of the copper water bottle, you're getting copper, but it's like the metal copper, which doesn't have carbon. And if you have copper without carbon, then your blood becomes oxidized, and the heavy metals in your blood will start to rust, and it can cause heart failure, which is very, very scary. So I was like, okay, well, obviously I can't do like the metal copper to drink it like that out of the water bottle. So I start looking up different plants that have high in copper. And I put chlorophyll in my water every day. I've been saying that. And I go and look on the back of it, and it said high in copper. And it's chlorophyll that comes from alfalfa, which has one of the highest copper contents that you could possibly get. So I was like, damn, I've been taking copper this whole time.
That's right.
And then if
But
you
is
take
it like
zinc,
food grade?
a
Is it
lot of
food?
people. Sorry, go ahead. What?
Is it food grade or is it the metal?
So that's the difference, right? There's plants that are high in copper, but it's copper with carbon and oxygen. And that's the stuff that you need. That's what your brain is. It's copper and carbon. But if you just have copper that comes from like metal, it oxidizes your blood and can be poisonous.
Is that so is the chlorophyll, is it the food grade or is it like the metal?
Oh no, it's like, okay, so chlorophyll, it's the liquid that makes plants green.
Hey,
So
Uh-huh.
plant BLOOD. I don't know if you can
hey,
say that, but that's what it
okay.
is.
I could
Why I
have told you
asked.
guys that. 'Cause
It's
remember,
it's the juice that makes plants green. Like,
well, actually, I could have told you guys this because remember in the beginning of the interview, I told you guys I work for the EPA and I do a lot of testing for water. But chlorophyll, yeah, chlorophyll is the green pigment. I think,
chlorophyll's the green stuff, yeah.
yeah, I could. If you were on this panel before, I could have told you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But I
Yeah,
do.
chlorophyll is really good for you.
But I actually do all the testing for the.
But I didn't know. I take chlorophyll, right? But I didn't know that it had high contents of
But
copper.
you
That's
can
what the
use
crazy
you
part
can
is.
use copper the metal for a lot of health stuff too, but not necessarily ingestion. But it's really good for grounding, like
So if
grounding
you
yourself.
wear it, yeah, wearing it on your skin is good for you. But if you like drink out of those copper water bottles or
Oh,
take
that
like
just
copper
sounds ignorant to
supplements,
me.
taking
I would never
copper
do that.
supplements and stuff, that's no good. Same with iron. Like you can take an iron pill and it literally has flakes of actual iron, the metal. But if you take a plant called yellow dock, it has high contents of plant iron, which is iron with carbon and oxygen.
Don't fish have a lot of iron?
Fish, I think so. I'm not a big
Yeah, I
fish
think
eater,
fish
but
carries iron. I eat a
yeah,
lot of
like
fish.
beef does too, I believe.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, but people like it's just crazy because when you talk about it, people do think of like the metal
Yeah,
instinctively,
it's
like that's all
different.
they think. But
When
there
I
is a
was
lot more
pregnant,
to
my
it.
doctor told me that I was low in iron, and she prescribed me like these iron capsules to go get from the pharmacy. I threw that in the trash so quick and just took yellow dock tea. And like the next time I saw her, she was like, "Your iron levels are perfect. I've never seen the capsules work that fast." And I just laughed like, "Oh yeah, I'm not taking your capsules, lady."
Yeah, no, fuck that.
All right. So I want to download this right now because I think that we're gonna get into I feel the interview is done.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna reset so I could download it. Give me like a couple minutes. If you guys want to come back, I'll be here because I'm gonna be here for like another couple hours. But
Word.
now,
Put me
thank
and
you
T
so
on a
much,
panel
brother.
together, man. We gonna talk about some shit.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much
much,
for
brother. For real, this was great.
all the answers.
It was awesome meeting you. Is it Manam? Manam Phanam. It was nice meeting you, brother. I got you favored and followed.
Cool.
Hey, we be going into the pretendians and slapping them up, dog.
It was good talking to you guys.
Yeah,
See you
I'm not.
later.
All right.
I want to download this as quick as I can so I can shoot it to Mark.
Okay.
You're
No,
gonna
no
send it.
worries, Chicano. You're good, brother. Do your thing. I like what you're doing, bro. This is cool. Keep doing it for sure.
Are you gonna send it on WhatsApp?
On WhatsApp, yeah. Give me a few
Okay.
minutes. Hey, thank
All
you. Now, wait, I gotta do this. We're gonna see him out. So this is for Manan. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. All right. Manan. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll back. You guys in a bit. Then when you jump back on.